Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. This is Siva Devaki from MassMailer. Today, I'm going to talk about how to send the retargeting emails to the previous campaign members or the outreach members. So it's a very important topic because, you send an email campaign, but at the same time, looking at the statistics, you would want to send another email, maybe to those people who have opened or maybe did not open or maybe clicked on the email. You want to send a separate email. So it's always possible that you end up doing a retargeting emails, especially if you're in marketing or business development. And how do you really do that in MassMailer? So the various ways, there's no single solution for the retargeting emails based on how you have defined your current campaign and also what is your motive to really send these retargeting emails and who do you really want to send it. There are multiple approaches that you can actually take. And I'll touch base on a few of them here. The very first one is basically a very blunt a clone feature, which I actually explained in one of the previous webinars. So you could send an email using the MassMailer outreach. And then if you want to send a retargeting campaign, you can actually clone that outreach and then send it to all of them. And of course, we do suppress the bounces and unsubscribes and everything. Other than that, anybody or any email that is still valid would still receive the email, provided you just do a clone. And similarly, if you actually clone a Facebook campaign, when I say clone, it's actually MassMailer clone though. So there's a button called MassMailer clone that you would see on the Facebook campaign. So if you did that, then you're actually retargeting the campaign members. And again, here you would have an option to pick and choose what status values that you want to retarget. That's another approach. Okay. And as you may have noticed, we do have a summary of statistics that we display on the outreach object. So if you notice the real-time statistics section where we display a hyperlink, you can drill down to the specific results such as opens, clicks, bounces, and all of that. So if you wanted to just retarget maybe the people who did not open, then you just have to click on that and find out who did not open your email and send an email to them again, right? So that's possible to do it using the outreach results. But here, you can only do it for either leads or contacts or campaign members because you can only add them to another Facebook campaign, provided those are leads or contacts or campaign members. If it's a custom object or any other object, right now you can't do it from the outreach results, but you can always use the MassMailer list view advanced feature where you could actually apply the filters on the email status object that is related to any object, whether it is lead, contact, opportunity, or case, or any custom object. I would always see the MassMailer email status object related. So you can always filter based on the opens or clicks of a mass email status that are related to the specific object, and that could be a target audience. That's fourth option. And the final option that I think most of you may be familiar with this, you can always create a report based on whatever the outreach results that you are interested in retargeting. You can build that report based on again MassMailer email status that are related to lead or contact, and then you can specify the respective filters on the email status value. So you can find out, it could be opens or clicks or not any other status values that you're interested in retargeting, you can create that report, add those add those report members into a specific campaign, and then you can send a retargeting email. So the various options that are available. So I'll try to explain this or demo this right now. And if you have any questions, just feel free to type it in the chat window, and I'll get on to those questions end of this webinar. Okay. So now let's take a look at Salesforce. Okay, so this is MassMailer Outreach Wizard tab. So you're going to send an email. It's the very first email that I'm going to send. So here, I'm going to select contact as the object, and then see our emails is the specific list view that I'm going to select. So there are a few contacts that are there in this list view. So let's go to the next tab, that is email template. I'm just going to go select one of the existing templates that we have. Let's go to our demo template. Okay. So it has template there, some merge fields and all of that, and some links. So you can easily check if we got any click event or not. So let's just save that and then go to the next step. I'm not going to attach any files. You're good. And then sender options. Let's just go send as a logged in user for simplicity. I'm not going to select any other options. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the next step. And then here, we are sending it now. And it's a global and subscribe option. And then finally click finish button in the screen to submit the very first email. Okay. So what we have done so far is just sent one outreach campaign. As you can see, it is just an outreach record that got created, and we sent it to a bunch of contacts there, and we should be getting the results shortly. Okay. Okay. So 4 of them are delivered here. So if I just go back here and open this. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that the emails just got delivered. Let's say I want to click on this. Okay, seems like we didn't enable the click tracking. That's okay. I think at least we will receive the open event. All right. So all 4 of them are actually opened right now. So shortly we should be getting some open emails as well, or open status as well. Wait, refresh only one more time. Otherwise, we can still continue. You know, don't have to really wait for the open events to get captured. Sometimes it may take time. That's okay. So let's say we have 4 of them that got delivered, right? And here, if you see the click to view, you would click this to see that 4 of them got delivered. And if you wanted to retarget the ones that got delivered, you have an option to add them to your campaign. So when you click on this campaign, it's going to ask you, hey, you want to add it to an existing campaign, or you actually want to send it to a brand new campaign. we can call this as a retarget campaign one example, and then just save this. So that becomes the retarget campaign where you're actually adding this as campaign members. So if you go to the campaign, so I'm actually going to open another window. So the retarget campaign one. So this is already set as a MassMailer campaign, as you can see. And then we have 4 members that are added in status new. And the next step is just go send via MassMailer. Very simple. You start a click, and then you're good to go. You're just trying to send retarget email to those um, contacts that have the delivered status, right? So the rest of the steps is the same. So this approach would work if you have contacts or leads or campaign members as the target audience. So basically, this after campaign will only add those 3 objects to a campaign, not the other objects. So let's say now if you see the status values, let's see, we received anything here. Okay. Sometimes it's going to take time. And let's see if there's anything that is not clicked. If I go there, okay. So I think it's taking some time to process. So let's just go to other use case scenario here. Okay. So other use case scenarios, if at all you want to clone this outreach campaign, so you have an option here. So all you need to do is click here and then click on this clone button, and it's actually going to clone this outreach for you, which means you're going to send emails to the entire list of those contacts that you actually sent emails to. So there's a total 6 of them. Since we suppress the duplicates, it is going to send only to 4 of them though. So basically there are 2 duplicates in this list. So basically this is how you clone a outreach, and then you're targeting, sending any targeting retarget email to the cloned outreach. As you know, rest of the steps are the same. The only difference is this is going to be a retarget email, right? And similarly, campaign is the one that we were actually working on earlier. I'm just going to go send this campaign for a moment so that we have another record here that we create that we can show it in the demo. So let's just go select the template here. I would just say event campaign, and then the merge fields are actually coming from contact here. You can always change it. Again, if you want to understand how the merge fields work, we do have a webinar that basically talks about the merge fields and the template features. So here, I'm just going to go change this to different merge field here, which is coming from campaign member. Okay. So basically, it just says campaign member first name, right? And then save this. So basically, what we have done so far is just trying to send an email to a campaign that was actually created originally. So here we're going to skip the section, and then we're just going to send this from the logged in user. Go to the next step, and this is all good. And then finally, you're trying to go to the next step, and then review all your work. If everything looks good, we are just going to go say finish. So that's how you basically send an email to the respective target audience, and then it's a retarget campaign via the Facebook campaign feature, right? As you can see, this also creates an outreach, and it is basically a retarget campaign that we created in the previous step, and it would again get the results. So you can basically, simplify the process of, creating the complete brand new list. So you can always, again, create another retarget um, email if you wanted from this list, right? And now, if you go back to that campaign, I just want to show you the clone feature. How does it really work? So here we are on this campaign, and if you wanted to actually do a clone, we do have the MassMailer clone. This is what you need to select. So the MassMailer clone button, and then that's gonna ask you a few things here. So what is the clone campaign? The default status is gonna be new, and also it's gonna ask you, hey, what is the outreach that you want to clone? So we're gonna say, hey, this is outreach that we're gonna clone, and then what status values you want to clone. So let's say you want to clone only the ones that are delivered. You can just say, hey, it's new and delivered. Those are the ones that I'm gonna select. So it seems like the other email address did not have the delivered status. So you can basically just click done, and then that is gonna do deep clone for the campaign along with the campaign numbers. So basically, we got a copy of the retarget campaign one now, as you can see, and it has 3 campaign numbers from there. And those are all already added into status new. That's how you basically clone another campaign, but you can still select what specific campaign member status values that you wanted to add into this retarget campaign. Okay. Um, Now, another interesting thing is that if you actually wanted to, let's say, this is my campaign, I would just select, let's just see if I've received an email. Perhaps I'm actually going to go open one of them. So we do get the open invite, so the open event. Okay, so I did receive some emails there. I'm just going to go open. So that's fine. I think eventually we're going to get some open events there. Um, so now the goal for me is to go to the report, the standard report, which is this, and then so you may be familiar with some of the MassMailer standard reports that we package out of the box. So as you can see, some of these reports that you see here, they all come from MassMailer reports. So let's say you wanted to um, create a custom report on MassMailer email status with contact. So let's say this is the one, but you actually want to build a custom campaign, so the custom report. So all you need to do is basically save this as something else. That way you're having a copy of this to play with. So once you have this copied, you can always go edit this campaign, the report, based on your needs. So this is kind of bringing everything. But if you want to filter this, that is going to bring in only the respective campaign. You can always say, hey, campaign equals to the copy of retarget one, for example, right? And you can refresh that, and it doesn't have anything. So I think we can just say retarget one. Refresh. So there are a bunch of values there. You can always add in the outline if you want to add more things, such as what is the event, for example. What is the email, right, in the email subject. Yeah. So those are all the fields that I just started. And so this is basically various events that we got. Some of them are open, some of them are delivered. Now, if you actually want to target only the ones who have the event that is open, you can just start a filter here and just say, hey, I want to bring in only the opens. Just select apply, and then you just refresh this, and you get only the open. So if you want to send another email to this list, like as a retarget campaign, all you need to do is you just have to add them to a specific campaign. Once you basically run this report, you have to make sure that you save this and then run this. And from here, you can actually add them to different campaigns. So let's say we call it as retarget campaign 2, right? And then that's okay. And then just save this and then submit. Right now, we are doing it in sent. That's okay because we did not create the retarget campaign earlier or ahead of time. So basically, now if you go to retarget 2, the campaign that we just created, you would see the campaign member status. Sorry, the campaign members are added into the sent status. But again, as you know, you can always change the status of the campaign. So you basically click on this set as a MassMailer campaign button. That is step 1. And then you can reset the status values for the campaign members, and then you're good to go. So that's the shortest path. So if you just go here and then reset campaign member status values to say new, I just have to say reset status, and that is going to reset all the status values of the campaign members to new instead of send. That's kind of an advantage with the button, right? So now you can actually send another email to this list because this is a retarget list that we created from a Salesforce report. And finally, you can achieve the same thing using a list view. So, for example, let's just say that you want to create a list of contacts. So all you need to do is click New, and then you can say, hey, my retarget view, for example, and then click this select object option, and then you have a contact, select fields, email, let's say email field we are checking to make sure that it has contains ampersand. So that's basic filter that you can apply. And then child filter, you can apply status, email status, and then done, and then select field from here. You can go to MassMailer email status. So let's say we select the MassMailer email status. Okay. Actually, yeah. When it comes to field, let's say you wanted to select an event, and then equals open, right? And then you're gonna select maybe the outreach as well, because the this particular outreach okay, So as an example, outreach name. So you can just select that and say maybe contains. Sometimes contains may work better. And then you would just do a quick preview, and that basically gives you um, the, uh, the values that have the specific okay, so this is around outreach. That's my bad. Let's just go to the outreaches here and then pick up one of the outreaches. Example. And then here, let's just see if it works here. Okay. So seems like the email status maybe we didn't have open. So let's see delivered. So we have the statistics and then outreach name. Okay. All right. Okay. So therefore, so it's I think it contains sometimes have some when you're copy pasting, you may get some special characters, so you got to be careful. So it's okay to omit some of the characters provided you're being a little careful. So as you can see, it brought in some records there, and so we basically applied the sub filters on the child object. So what we have done, if you look at it, we're just creating a retarget list view um, to of a specific contact. We want to find out those contacts that received the email earlier for this particular outreach, but they have the emails got delivered. So if you ever wanted to retarget like this, you can apply the child filters and then bring in the respective values as well. So you just have to save this, and that becomes your target audience. Since it's a simple the MassMailer list view on the contact, there's nothing else that you need to do other than just going to outreach, um, and then you just go through the same steps of selecting the contact object and then this respective list view that we just created, and it brings in those four emails, and then you keep going to the next steps. So that's basically another approach to send out emails to a retarget list view, because we applied the child filters on the specific object, especially comparing the email status values, right? That kind of comes in handy. So we think pretty much covered everything here. So we looked at the clone feature, we looked at the how to add the outreach results to a brand new campaign, and also we looked at the MassMailer list view based on a previous outreach result, adding them to a new outreach, and also we looked at the report. So that's how you send out a retarget email. And again, the scenarios could be completely different for everyone. But the fundamentals are the same. So you have various options to kind of send out these retarget emails. If you have any specific needs or any questions, feel free to just contact us. You can email me directly at siva.devaki@massmailer.io. or you can go to our website and drop a note from there. Or you can also send us an email at hello@massmailer.io. Or you also have a phone number that you can contact us. Once again, this is a weekly webinar. It runs on every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So the new topic will always be published onto the website and also to all the social channels. And if you're in our database, the email distribution database, you would also receive an email, that includes this webinar recording too. So once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Have a great day and a great rest of the weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.